In the grim darkness of the far future, where there is only war, stand the Iron Hands, a chapter of Space Marines unlike any other. These warriors of the Imperium of Man are more machine than human, their flesh weak and replaced by the cold certainty of steel and circuitry. Today we delve into the history, culture, and might of the Iron Hands chapter. Our tale begins on the harsh world of Medusa, a planet of perpetual gloom and volcanic fury. It was here that the Iron Hands gene sire crash-landed, forever changing the fate of this world and its people. The infant demigod emerged from the shattered remains of a great mountain, his hands mysteriously encased in living metal, a portent of the chapter's future obsession with cybernetic enhancement. The young gene sire quickly rose to prominence among the Medusan clans, his superhuman abilities and indomitable will allowing him to unite the warring tribes under his leadership. He became known as Ferrus Manus, the Gorgon of Medusa, a name that would echo through the annals of imperial history. When the Emperor of Mankind arrived on Medusa, he recognized his lost son and reunited him with his legion, the Exth Astartes, who would become known as the Iron Hands. Ferrus Manus took command of his sons, instilling in them the harsh values of Medusa and his own unyielding determination to purge weakness in all its forms. The Iron Hands Legion quickly gained a fearsome reputation during the Great Crusade. They were relentless in battle, their tactics as cold and methodical as the machines they venerated. The Legion's obsession with technology and cybernetic augmentation grew stronger with each passing year, a trait that would define them for millennia to come. However, the Iron Hands' greatest trial was yet to come. When civil war erupted within the Imperium, Ferrus Manus led his legion to confront the traitors on Istvan Fai. It was here that treachery struck its deepest blow, as the Iron Hands found themselves betrayed and outnumbered. In the brutal battle that followed, Ferrus Manus fell, beheaded by the blade of one he had once called brother. The loss of their gene sire shattered the Iron Hands. Those who survived the massacre on Istvan V were forever changed, their hatred of weakness and flesh redoubled. They saw their leader's death as a result of emotional weakness and vowed never to succumb to such frailty again. In the aftermath of this catastrophic defeat, the Iron Hands withdrew to Medusa. There, they reorganized themselves into a new chapter structure, one that would eliminate the possibility of a single point of failure. The Iron Council was formed, a ruling body of the chapter's most senior members, ensuring that no one individual could lead the Iron Hands astray. The Iron Hands structure is unique among Space Marine chapters. Instead of companies, they are organized into clan companies, each bearing the name of an ancient Medusan clan. These clan companies operate with a high degree of autonomy, each maintaining its own traditions and practices while still adhering to the overall Iron Hands philosophy. At the core of Iron Hands' belief is the conviction that flesh is weak. They see the human body as a flawed vessel, prone to error, weakness, and corruption. To counter this, the Iron Hands engage in extensive cybernetic augmentation. It is not uncommon for veterans of the chapter to have more machine parts than organic tissue. This process begins as soon as a neophyte is inducted into the chapter. The initiate's left hand is surgically removed and replaced with a bionic prosthesis, a ritual inspired by their gene sire's own metal hands. From this point on, an Iron Hands battle brother will continue to replace his organic parts with cybernetic enhancements throughout his service. The Iron Hands' relationships with other Imperial organizations are complex. They maintain a close alliance with the Adeptus Mechanicus, sharing their reverence for technology and the machine. However, their cold logic and disdain for human weakness often put them at odds with other Space Marine chapters and Imperial institutions. In battle, the Iron Hands are a terrifying force to behold. They advance implacably, their augmented bodies shrugging off wounds that would fell a normal Space Marine. Their mastery of technology allows them to field an impressive array of war machines, from tanks and dreadnoughts to esoteric weapons of the dark age of technology. The chapter's tactics are as cold and methodical as their cybernetic bodies. They analyze every aspect of a battle with machine-like precision, identifying weaknesses in the enemy's defense and exploiting them without mercy. The Iron Hands do not engage in glorious charges or heroic last stands. They simply calculate the most efficient way to annihilate their foes and execute their plans with ruthless efficiency. One of the most distinctive features of the Iron Hands is their use of dreadnoughts. These massive war machines house the remains of grievously wounded Space Marines, allowing them to continue serving the chapter long after their organic bodies have failed. The Iron Hands view internment in a dreadnought as one of the highest honors, a step closer to the purity of the machine. The Iron Hands' homeworld of Medusa continues to play a crucial role in shaping the chapter's culture. The harsh, unforgiving environment of the planet serves as a constant reminder of the need for strength and self-reliance. The chapter recruits from the nomadic clans of Medusa, selecting only the toughest and most resilient candidates to join their ranks. Unlike many other chapters, the Iron Hands do not maintain a single fortress monastery. Instead, each clan company operates from a massive mobile fortress known as a land behemoth. These enormous vehicles traverse the unstable surface of Medusa, serving as rolling fortresses, factories, and recruitment centers. The Iron Hands' pursuit of technological perfection has led them to develop unique war gear and weapons. Their tech marines, known as Iron Fathers, are among the most skilled in the Imperium, capable of crafting intricate bionics and maintaining ancient relics of technology. The chapter's armory is filled with masterwork weapons and armor, each piece a testament to the Iron Hands' dedication to the perfection of the machine. One of the most revered relics of the chapter is the Blessing of Iron, a singular cybernetic enhancement reserved for those who have served the Imperium with unwavering devotion. Recipients of this honor are made even more one with the machine god, their organic weaknesses further purged and replaced with the cold certainty of technology. The Iron Hands' belief in the weakness of flesh extends to their tactical doctrine. They view the loss of battle brothers as inefficient and strive to minimize casualties through the use of overwhelming firepower and superior technology. This approach has led to friction with other Space Marine chapters, who sometimes view the Iron Hands as overly cautious or lacking in martial honor. Despite their apparent coldness, the Iron Hands are capable of great fury in battle. Their hatred of weakness, particularly the weaknesses of the flesh, drives them to fight with a terrifying intensity. When faced with the corrupting influence of chaos or the alien threat of the Tyranids, the Iron Hands unleash the full might of their technological arsenal, determined to purge these affronts to their ideals of purity and strength. The chapter's obsession with technology and the purging of weakness has not been without its dangers. There have been instances throughout their history where the Iron Hands have teetered on the brink of tech heresy, their modifications and experiments pushing the boundaries of what the Imperium considers acceptable. The chapter's close ties to the Adeptus Mechanicus have often shielded them from censure, but suspicion remains. One of the most contentious aspects of Iron Hands' lore is the fate of their gene-sire. While most accept that he fell on Istvan Fiv, some within the chapter cling to the belief that he somehow survived. This has led to occasional schisms within the Iron Hands, with some factions embarking on quests to find their lost leader, while others view such endeavors as a sign of weakness and misplaced faith. The Iron Hands' unique perspective on humanity and its flaws has shaped their interactions with the Imperium's citizens. They are not known for their mercy or compassion, often viewing the general population as weak and unworthy of protection unless they prove their strength. This attitude has sometimes put them at odds with other imperial organizations tasked with safeguarding humanity. Despite their seemingly cold and inhuman nature, the Iron Hands are staunch defenders of the Imperium. Their logic-driven approach to warfare has saved countless imperial worlds from destruction. The chapter's mastery of technology has allowed them to turn the tide in battles where others would have faltered, their relentless advance grinding down even the most determined foes. The Iron Hands have played crucial roles in many of the Imperium's most significant conflicts. During the 13th Black Crusade, they stood firm against the forces of chaos, their cybernetically enhanced bodies and superior technology proving instrumental in holding back the tide of heretics and demons that threatened to overwhelm the Cadian Gate. The chapter's expertise in void warfare and planetary assaults has made them a valuable asset in the Imperium's never-ending war against Xenos threats. Their methodical approach and advanced technology have proven particularly effective against the Orcs, whose crude but effective war machines are no match for the precision and power of Iron Hand's weaponry. However, the Iron Hand's greatest test came with the opening of the Great Rift. As warp storms tore reality apart and isolated vast swaths of the Imperium, the chapter found its resources stretched to the breaking point. The Iron Council was forced to make difficult decisions, calculating where their forces could be most effectively deployed to stem the tide of chaos. The arrival of the Primaris Space Marines presented a unique challenge to the Iron Hands. While they recognized the superior physical qualities of these new warriors, many within the chapter viewed them with suspicion. The Primaris' unaugmented bodies were seen as a step backwards by some, a return to the weakness of flesh that the Iron Hands had long sought to eliminate. Yet, pragmatism prevailed. The Iron Hands could not deny the effectiveness of the Primaris in battle, and soon began the process of integrating them into their ranks. This integration was not without friction, as the chapter's existing culture of cybernetic augmentation clashed with the Primaris' untouched physiology. The solution, in true Iron Hands fashion, was to subject the Primaris to the same regime of cybernetic enhancement as their firstborn brothers. This process has created a new generation of Iron Hands warriors, combining the genetic superiority of the Primaris with the chapter's traditional focus on technological augmentation. As the Iron Hands face the manifold threats of the 41st millennium, they continue to evolve. Their mastery of technology grows ever greater, driven by necessity and their unceasing quest to eliminate weakness. New patterns of bionics and weapons emerge from their forges, each more advanced than the last. The chapter's future, like that of the Imperium itself, remains uncertain. The threats they face are greater than ever before, from the resurgent forces of chaos to the endless swarms of the Tyranids. Yet the Iron Hands face these challenges with the same cold determination that has defined them for 10,000 years. In the eyes of the Iron Hands, the path forward is clear. They will continue to purge weakness wherever they find it, be it in their own ranks or in the Imperium at large. They will push the boundaries of technology, seeking ever more perfect unions of man and machine. And they will stand as an unyielding bulwark against the enemies of mankind, their iron will and cybernetic bodies a testament to humanity's potential for strength and resilience. As we conclude our exploration of the Iron Hands, we are left with a picture of a chapter that embodies both the strengths and the contradictions of the Imperium. They are defenders of humanity who have all but abandoned their own humanity. They are masters of technology who skirt the edges of tech heresy. They are loyal sons of the Emperor who have rejected the weakness of flesh that the Emperor himself embodies in his current state. The Iron Hands stand as a grim reminder of the cost of survival in the grim darkness of the far future. In a galaxy beset by unimaginable horrors, perhaps their path of cold logic and technological enhancement is the only way to ensure humanity's survival. Or perhaps, as their detractors claim, they have lost something essential in their quest for perfection. Whatever the future holds, one thing is certain. The Iron Hands will face it with iron resolve, their cybernetic hearts beating in time with the rhythm of war that echoes across the galaxy. In the clash of metal and the roar of engines, they will seek their destiny, forever striving to replace the weakness of flesh with the strength of iron. And so we leave the Iron Hands, these masters of metal and might, to continue their eternal vigil. in the workshops and forges of Medusa, in the cold void of space, and on countless battlefields across the Imperium, they will fight on. For in their eyes, only through strength can humanity survive, and only through iron can that strength be achieved. The flesh is weak, but iron endures. In the crucible of war, the iron hands shall be forged anew, again and again, until the last star falls and the universe itself grinds to a halt. And perhaps in that final moment, they will at last find the perfection they have sought for so long. The Iron Hands' commitment to technological advancement is not limited to their own bodies and equipment. They are constantly seeking to improve the Imperium's war machines and defensive capabilities. Their expertise has led to breakthroughs in fields such as void shield technology, armored vehicle design, and advanced weaponry. One of the most notable contributions of the Iron Hands to Imperial technology is the development of the Gorgon pattern Terminator armor. This variant of tactical dreadnought armor incorporates advanced sensory systems and enhanced servo motors, allowing for greater situational awareness and mobility without sacrificing protection. The chapter's obsession with technology extends to their recruitment and training processes. Aspirants to the Iron Hands are subjected to grueling trials that test not only their physical and mental resilience, but also their aptitude for technology. Those who succeed find themselves initiated into a world where the line between man and machine is increasingly blurred. Iron Hands neophytes undergo extensive indoctrination, reinforcing the chapter's core beliefs about the weakness of flesh and the strength of the machine. This process is not merely philosophical. It involves practical training in the maintenance and operation of complex machinery, as well as the basics of cybernetic enhancement. As an Iron Hands battle brother progresses through the ranks, he is expected to continuously improve both his combat skills and his understanding of technology. Many Iron Hands become expert artificers, capable of maintaining and modifying their own bionics in the field. This self-reliance is seen as a crucial aspect of the chapter's ethos. The Iron Hands' approach to warfare is heavily influenced by their technological focus. They favor strategies that maximize the effectiveness of their advanced weaponry and cybernetic enhancements. Precision strikes, overwhelming firepower, and adaptive tactics are hallmarks of Iron Hands operations. One of the most feared weapons in the Iron Hands arsenal is the Devastator Squad equipped with grav weapons. These archaic devices manipulate gravitational fields, crushing enemy armor and infantry alike. The Iron Hands have proven particularly adept at maintaining and deploying these complex weapons, using them to devastating effect against heavily armored opponents. The chapter's mastery of technology also extends to their fleet. Iron Hands vessels are renowned for their advanced systems and formidable firepower. The chapter's flagship, the battle barge Fist of Iron, is said to possess weapon systems and defensive capabilities far beyond those of a standard vessel of its class. Despite their technological prowess, the Iron Hands are not without their vulnerabilities. Their reliance on cybernetics and advanced technology can be exploited by enemies who specialize in electronic warfare or possess weapons designed to disrupt machine spirits. The Iron Hands are acutely aware of these potential weaknesses and work tirelessly to eliminate them. One of the most significant challenges facing the Iron Hands in recent times has been the threat posed by the Adeptus Mechanicus splinter faction, known as the Dark Mechanicum. These tech heretics, with their unholy fusion of technology and chaos, represent everything the Iron Hands despise. Battles between the two factions are particularly bitter, with both sides unleashing the full might of their technological arsenals. The Iron Hands' relationship with the loyalist Adeptus Mechanicus remains strong, but it is not without tension. While both groups revere technology, their ultimate goals and methods often differ. The Iron Hands' willingness to modify and experiment with technology sometimes puts them at odds with the more conservative elements of the Mechanicus. Within the chapter itself, there are ongoing debates about the extent to which cybernetic enhancement should be pursued. Some argue for complete replacement of all organic components, viewing the human brain as the last weakness to be overcome. Others maintain that a balance must be struck, lest the chapter lose touch with its humanity entirely. These philosophical differences occasionally lead to friction between the various clan companies. Each clan has its own interpretation of the chapter's core tenets, leading to variations in practice and doctrine. The Iron Council works to maintain unity, but the potential for discord always exists. The Iron Hands' unyielding nature and disdain for weakness have sometimes brought them into conflict with other Imperial organizations. Their harsh treatment of civilian populations deemed weak has led to censure from other Space Marine chapters and Imperial authorities. However, the Iron Hands maintain that their methods, while brutal, are necessary for the survival of the Imperium. One area where the Iron Hands excel is in combating the forces of chaos. Their resistance to emotional manipulation and their ability to replace corrupted flesh with pure machine parts make them formidable opponents against the servants of the ruinous powers. The Iron Hands take particular pleasure in destroying the warriors of the Emperor's children, seeking to avenge the death of their gene sire. The chapter's expertise in technology has also proven invaluable in battles against Xenos races with advanced capabilities. Against the Necrons, for example, the Iron Hands have developed specialized weapons and tactics designed to counter the Xenos' self-repair abilities and phase technology. In recent years, the Iron Hands have found themselves increasingly involved in conflicts along the borders of the Imperium Nihilus. The disruption of warp travel and communication caused by the Great Rift has forced the chapter to become more self-reliant than ever. Iron Hands forces often find themselves cut off from reinforcement or resupply, forced to adapt and overcome using only the resources at hand. This new reality has led to further innovation within the chapter. The Iron Hands have developed new patterns of equipment designed to function reliably in areas affected by warp storms. They have also refined their tactics, placing even greater emphasis on self-sufficiency and adaptability. The arrival of Primaris Space Marines has presented both challenges and opportunities for the Iron Hands. While initially skeptical of these new warriors, the chapter has come to appreciate their enhanced capabilities. The Iron Hands have begun the process of integrating Primaris Marines into their ranks, subjecting them to the same cybernetic augmentation processes as their firstborn brothers. This integration has not been without difficulties. Some Primaris Marines have resisted the chapter's more extreme practices, leading to tension within the ranks. The Iron Council has had to carefully manage this transition, balancing the need for new blood with the preservation of the chapter's core identity. Despite these challenges, the Iron Hands remain one of the Imperium's most potent defensive assets. Their uncompromising nature and technological mastery make them ideally suited to face the myriad threats of the 41st millennium. From the corrupting influence of chaos to the relentless advance of Tyranid hive fleets, the Iron Hands stand ready to defend humanity, no matter the cost. The future of the Iron Hands is as uncertain as that of the Imperium itself. As new threats emerge and old ones return, the chapter continues to adapt and evolve. Some within the Iron Hands believe that the only path forward is to embrace technology fully, to transcend the limitations of human flesh entirely. Others caution against losing touch with the human element that, for all its weaknesses, gives the chapter its drive and purpose. Whatever path they choose, one thing is certain. The Iron Hands will face the future with the same grim determination and logical precision that has defined them for 10 millennia. In a galaxy where the only constant is war, they stand as a bulwark against the darkness, their iron will and cybernetic bodies a testament to humanity's potential for strength and resilience. As we conclude our examination of the Iron Hands, we are left with a picture of a chapter that embodies both the strengths and contradictions of the Imperium itself. They are defenders of humanity who have all but abandoned their own humanity. They are masters of technology who skirt the edges of tech heresy. They are loyal sons of the Emperor who have rejected the weakness of flesh that the Emperor himself now embodies. The Iron Hands serve as a grim reminder of the cost of survival in the grim darkness of the far future. In a galaxy beset by unimaginable horrors, perhaps their path of cold logic and technological enhancement is the only way to ensure humanity's survival, or perhaps, as their detractors claim, they have lost something essential in their quest for perfection. Whatever the future holds, one thing is certain. The Iron Hands will face it with iron resolve, their cybernetic hearts beating in time with the rhythm of war that echoes across the galaxy. In the clash of metal and the roar of engines, they will seek their destiny, forever striving to replace the weakness of flesh with the strength of iron. The Iron Hands' pursuit of technological perfection extends beyond mere cybernetic enhancements. Their forges on Medusa are renowned throughout the Imperium for producing some of the finest weapons and equipment available to the Adeptus Astartes. The chapter's Iron Fathers, who serve as both tech marines and spiritual leaders, oversee these forges, ensuring that each piece of war gear meets their exacting standards. One of the most revered creations of the Iron Hands is the Iron Stone, a mysterious artifact that can repair damaged vehicles in the heat of battle. This device, which appears to be a simple silver pendant, houses a powerful machine spirit capable of mending even the most grievous damage to tanks and other war machines. The exact workings of the Iron Stone are unknown to all but the most senior Iron Fathers, and it is considered one of the chapter's most closely guarded secrets. The Iron Hands' mastery of technology also manifests in their use of unique weapon systems. The Gorgon's Wrath, a modified thunderfire cannon, is capable of firing salvos of micromissiles that can saturate an area with devastating firepower. This weapon exemplifies the Iron Hands' approach to warfare, precise, overwhelming, and utterly merciless. In terms of organization, the Iron Hands deviate significantly from the Codex Astartes. Instead of the standard company structure, they are divided into clan companies, each named after one of the great clans of Medusa. These clan companies operate with a high degree of autonomy, maintaining their own traditions and practices while still adhering to the overall Iron Hands philosophy. The leadership of the chapter is equally unique. Instead of a single chapter master, the Iron Hands are led by the Iron Council, a body composed of the most senior and respected members of each clan company. This collective leadership is seen as a safeguard against the potential weaknesses of any single individual, reflecting the chapter's belief in the superiority of the machine over flesh. One of the most distinctive aspects of Iron Hands' culture is their disdain for organic flesh, even their own. This belief is so ingrained that it affects every aspect of their daily lives. Iron Hands battle brothers routinely undergo voluntary amputations and augmentations, replacing perfectly functional limbs and organs with cybernetic equivalents. This practice is seen as a way to purge weakness and move closer to the perfection of the machine. The Iron Hands homeworld of Medusa plays a crucial role in shaping the chapter's identity. This harsh, tectonically unstable planet is dotted with the remnants of ancient technology, much of it dating back to the Dark Age of technology. The Iron Hands see it as their duty to recover and understand these relics, incorporating the knowledge they gain into their own technological advancements. The chapter's recruitment process is as harsh as the world from which they draw their neophytes. Aspirants must survive the brutal environment of Medusa, navigating its shifting landscape and battling fearsome predators. Those who succeed are subjected to grueling trials that test not only their physical and mental resilience, but also their aptitude for technology and their willingness to embrace the chapter's cybernetic ideology. In battle, the Iron Hands are known for their use of devastating armored assaults. Their mastery of technology allows them to field and maintain a larger number of tanks and other armored vehicles than most other chapters. The sight of an Iron Hands armored column advancing implacably across a battlefield, shrugging off enemy fire and returning it tenfold, has broken the morale of countless foes. The chapter's preference for cybernetic enhancement extends to their dreadnoughts as well. Iron Hands warriors view internment in a dreadnought as an honor, a chance to shed the last of their weak flesh and become one with the machine. As a result, the chapter fields an unusually high number of these walking tanks, each one a repository of centuries of combat experience. Despite their apparent coldness, the Iron Hands are capable of great fury in battle. Their hatred of weakness, particularly the weaknesses of the flesh, drives them to fight with terrifying intensity. When faced with the corrupting influence of chaos or the alien threat of the Tyranids, the Iron Hands unleash the full might of their technological arsenal, determined to purge these affronts to their ideals of purity and strength. The Iron Hands' relationship with the Adeptus Mechanicus is complex. While they share a reverence for technology, the two organizations often differ in their approaches. The Iron Hands are more willing to innovate and modify existing designs, a practice that sometimes puts them at odds with the more conservative elements of the Mechanicus. Nevertheless, the two groups maintain a strong alliance, often fighting side by side against the enemies of the Imperium. One of the most contentious aspects of Iron Hands' lore is the fate of their gene-sire. While most accept that he fell on Istvan Fiv, some within the chapter cling to the belief that he somehow survived. This has led to occasional schisms within the Iron Hands, with some factions embarking on quests to find their lost leader, while others view such endeavors as a sign of weakness and misplaced faith. The Iron Hands' unique perspective on humanity and its flaws has shaped their interactions with the Imperium's citizens. They are not known for their mercy or compassion, often viewing the general population as weak and unworthy of protection unless they prove their strength. This attitude has sometimes put them at odds with other Imperial organizations tasked with safeguarding humanity. In recent years, the Iron Hands have found themselves increasingly involved in conflicts along the borders of the Imperium Nihilus. The disruption of warp travel and communication caused by the Great Rift has forced the chapter to become more self-reliant than ever. Iron Hands forces often find themselves cut off from reinforcement or resupply, forced to adapt and overcome, using only the resources at hand. This new reality has led to further innovation within the chapter. The Iron Hands have developed new patterns of equipment designed to function reliably in areas affected by warp storms. They have also refined their tactics, placing even greater emphasis on self-sufficiency and adaptability. The arrival of Primaris Space Marines has presented both challenges and opportunities for the Iron Hands. While initially skeptical of these new warriors, the chapter has come to appreciate their enhanced capabilities. The Iron Hands have begun the process of integrating Primaris Marines into their ranks, subjecting them to the same cybernetic augmentation processes as their firstborn brothers. The Iron Hands harbor a dark secret known only to the highest-ranking members of the Iron Council. Deep beneath the surface of Medusa lies a vast, ancient facility predating even the Dark Age of technology. This complex, known as the Telstarix, is believed to be the source of the mysterious living metal that coated their gene-sire's hands. The Iron Hands have dedicated centuries to unlocking its secrets, believing it may hold the key to achieving their ideal of perfect union between man and machine. One of the most controversial doctrines of the Iron Hands is known as the Creed of Iron. This philosophy goes beyond mere reverence for technology, advocating for the complete abandonment of organic flesh. Some of the most radical adherents believe that the ultimate goal of the Iron Hands should be to transcend their humanity entirely, becoming pure machines unburdened by the weaknesses of biology. The chapter's obsession with eliminating weakness has led to the development of unique combat doctrines. One such tactic is the Iron Rain, where Iron Hands drop pods are launched from low orbit with their retro thrusters disengaged. The pods achieve terminal velocity before impact, turning them into kinetic weapons capable of punching through even the strongest fortifications. The Space Marines within, protected by their power armor and extensive cybernetics, emerge from the wreckage to wreak havoc on stunned enemies. An interesting facet of Iron Hands culture is their use of the Blessing of Iron. This ritual involves the gradual replacement of a battle brother's organic components with cybernetics. However, it's not just a physical process. Each augmentation is accompanied by complex cognitive reprogramming. This practice has raised concerns among other Imperial organizations who fear the Iron Hands may be altering their own humanity too drastically. The Iron Hands maintain a mysterious facility on Medusa, known as the Vault of Experiments. Here, the chapter's most skilled tech marines and Iron Fathers work on pushing the boundaries of cybernetic enhancement. Rumors persist of grotesque hybrids of flesh and machine, and of attempts to upload consciousness directly into war machines. The exact nature of the research conducted in the vault is one of the chapter's most closely guarded secrets. One of the unique aspects of Iron Hand's tactical doctrine is their use of the Gorgon's gaze. This involves deploying specialized Auspex arrays that can detect and analyze enemy weak points with incredible precision. The data is then transmitted directly to the Iron Hand's cybernetic systems, allowing them to target these vulnerabilities with unerring accuracy. The Iron Hands have developed a form of combat meditation known as the Canticle of Travels. This mental discipline allows them to enter a state of heightened awareness where the lines between their organic minds and cybernetic enhancements blur. In this state, Iron Hands warriors can process battlefield information at incredible speeds, reacting to threats almost instantaneously. A little-known fact about the Iron Hands is their maintenance of the Keys of Hell, a set of forbidden technologies dating back to the Great Crusade. These arcane devices are said to be capable of reanimating fallen space marines, blurring the line between life and death. The use of the keys is strictly regulated, reserved only for the direst emergencies. The chapter's flagship, Fist of Iron, is more than just a battle barge. It houses a massive cogitator array known as the Iron Mind, which contains tactical data from thousands of battles fought over the chapter's long history. The Iron Mind can analyze current battle situations and provide strategic recommendations based on historical precedents. Iron Hands aspirants undergo a unique rite of passage known as the Trial of Iron. This grueling test involves navigating a treacherous maze filled with deadly traps and automated defenses. Aspirants are required to interface with ancient machinery to progress, testing both their physical prowess and their affinity for technology. The Iron Hands maintain a special order within their ranks known as the Warders of the Tempering. These individuals are tasked with monitoring their battle brothers for signs of mental instability or deviation from the chapter's core principles. The Warders have the authority to recommend a brother for additional tempering, a process that involves further cybernetic modification and psycho-indoctrination. One of the most coveted positions within the chapter is that of the Iron Father. These individuals serve as a combination of tech marine, chaplain, and apothecary. Iron Fathers are responsible not only for maintaining the chapter's war gear, but also for overseeing the cybernetic augmentation of their brothers and safeguarding the spiritual well-being of the chapter. The Iron Hands have developed a unique form of disciplinary action for those who fail to meet their exacting standards. Known as the Rite of Censure, it involves the temporary deactivation of a battle brother's cybernetic enhancements. This forces them to confront the weaknesses of their remaining organic components, serving as a potent reminder of why they strive to replace flesh with iron. A curious tradition among the Iron Hands is the Feast of Iron. Despite their disdain for organic needs, the chapter maintains this ritual where members consume nutrient-rich metallic compounds. This practice is said to strengthen their bodies for future cybernetic enhancements and serves as a symbolic rejection of traditional organic sustenance. The Iron Hands possess a unique vehicle known as the Ironclad Land Behemoth. This massive mobile fortress serves as a roving base of operations on Medusa's unstable surface. Each clan company maintains its own behemoth, which houses forges, repair facilities, and enough supplies to sustain extended campaigns without external support. One of the most controversial practices of the Iron Hands is their treatment of failed aspirants. Those who do not meet the chapter's standards are not simply rejected. Instead, they are turned into servitors to serve the chapter. This practice has drawn criticism from other imperial organizations, but the Iron Hands view it as a logical use of resources. The Iron Hands maintain a secret repository of alien technology known as the Xenotech Vault. While the chapter officially abhors Xenos tech, they recognize its potential value. The contents of this vault are studied under the strictest quarantine protocols, with the goal of understanding and countering alien technological advantages. A unique aspect of Iron Hands' combat doctrine is their use of cybernetic warfare. The chapter has developed sophisticated machine spirits capable of invading and subverting enemy systems. In battle, Iron Hands can often be seen interfacing directly with enemy war machines, turning them against their former masters. The Iron Hands occupy a unique position in the grim darkness of the 41st millennium. Their unparalleled mastery of technology and cybernetic enhancement makes them invaluable assets in the Imperium's never-ending war for survival. The chapter's expertise has proven crucial in countless battles against both the forces of chaos and Xenos threats. One of the most significant contributions of the Iron Hands to the Imperium's war effort is their ability to quickly repair and recommission damaged war machines. In prolonged campaigns, this capability has often meant the difference between victory and defeat. The chapter's tech marines are in high demand, often being seconded to other Imperial forces to provide their expertise. The Iron Hands played a pivotal role in the defense of the Cadian Gate during Abaddon's 13th Black Crusade. Their advanced technology and tactical acumen helped hold back the tide of chaos for crucial weeks, allowing reinforcements to arrive and prevent a total collapse of the Imperial defenses. Though Cadia ultimately fell, the Iron Hands' actions saved countless lives and bought the Imperium precious time. A persistent legend surrounding the Iron Hands concerns the fate of their gene-sire. While officially declared dead after the drop site massacre on Istvan Fief, rumors persist that he somehow survived. Some claim to have seen a giant silver-handed figure fighting against the enemies of mankind in the most desperate battles. The Iron Hands themselves remain silent on these rumors, neither confirming nor denying them. The chapter's influence extends beyond the battlefield. Their close ties with the Adeptus Mechanicus have led to technological breakthroughs that have benefited the entire Imperium. Innovations in bionics, weapons technology, and void ship systems can often be traced back to joint projects between Iron Hands tech marines and Mechanicus tech priests. One of the most infamous incidents involving the Iron Hands is known as the Gaudinian Heresy. During this event, a splinter faction of the chapter fell to the corruption of chaos, seduced by the promise of perfect fusion between flesh and machine. The Iron Hands' response was swift and merciless, with the loyalist elements of the chapter utterly annihilating their fallen brothers. This incident served as a grim reminder of the constant vigilance required to resist the temptations of chaos. The Iron Hands have left their mark on Imperial history through their involvement in numerous campaigns. During the Badab War, they played a crucial role in breaking the power of the rebel Astral Claws chapter. Their methodical approach and superior technology proved instrumental in overcoming the rebels' formidable defenses. A chilling legend speaks of the Iron Hands' encounter with the Necrons on the tomb world of Shemnok. The chapter's mastery of technology was put to the ultimate test against the advanced weaponry of the Necrons. It's said that the Iron Hands emerged victorious by turning the Necrons' own technology against them, a feat that has since become the subject of intense study by the Adeptus Mechanicus. The Iron Hands have significantly influenced the development of Imperial armor doctrine. Their innovative use of tanks and other armored vehicles has been adopted by many other Space Marine chapters and even some regiments of the Astra Militarum. The Iron Tide tactic, involving overwhelming armored assaults, has its roots in Iron Hands battle doctrine. One of the most persistent mysteries surrounding the Iron Hands is the true nature of the Blessing of Iron. Rumors abound that this process involves more than mere physical augmentation, with some claiming it fundamentally alters the recipient's connection to the warp. These rumors have led to both admiration and suspicion from other Imperial organizations. The chapter's influence can be seen in the increasing acceptance of cybernetic enhancement throughout the Imperium. While still viewed with suspicion by many, the Iron Hands example has led to a gradual shift in attitudes towards bionics, particularly among the military and aristocratic classes. A dark legend speaks of an Iron Hands warband that ventured into the Eye of Terror in search of their lost gene sire. Known as the Iron Revenants, these warriors are said to have replaced every part of their bodies with machinery in their quest to survive the hostile environment of the Eye. Their fate remains unknown, but some claim to have encountered them in the most hazardous war zones, still fighting for the Emperor. The Iron Hands have played a crucial role in the Imperium's defense against Tyranid hive fleets. Their ability to rapidly adapt their technology to counter new Tyranid bioweapons has saved numerous worlds from consumption. He Chapter's fortress on Medusa houses a vast database of Tyranid biological data, which has proven invaluable in developing strategies against this ever-evolving threat. One of the most significant contributions of the Iron Hands to Imperial military technology is the development of the Gorgon pattern Terminator armor. This variant of tactical dreadnought armor incorporates advanced sensory systems and enhanced servo motors, allowing for greater situational awareness and mobility without sacrificing protection. The Iron Hands' influence extends even to the realm of Imperial politics. Their unwavering stance against weakness and corruption has made them both respected and feared in the halls of power. Many Imperial governors have found themselves subject to the chapter's harsh judgment, with entire planetary administrations being overthrown for failing to meet the Iron Hands' exacting standards. A curious legend surrounds the Iron Hands' homeworld of Medusa. It's said that deep beneath the planet's unstable crust lies a vast network of tunnels and chambers dating back to the Dark Age of technology. Some believe that the Iron Hands' obsession with cybernetic enhancement stems from discoveries made in these ancient vaults. The chapter has had a profound impact on the development of Imperial void warfare tactics. Their innovative use of cybernetic interface systems allows Iron Hands pilots to react with inhuman speed and precision. This has led to the development of new classes of attack craft and tactics that have been adopted by the Imperial Navy. One of the most intriguing legends about the Iron Hands concerns their interactions with the Adeptus Mechanicus. It's whispered that the chapter possesses knowledge of certain technologies that even the tech priests of Mars do not fully understand. This has led to both cooperation and tension between the two organizations, as each seeks to unlock the secrets of the other. The Iron Hands have played a pivotal role in the Imperium's defense against the Necrons. Their understanding of advanced technology has allowed them to develop effective countermeasures against Necron weaponry and reanimation protocols. Several tomb worlds have been successfully neutralized thanks to Iron Hands' intervention.